Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibiers? Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. It's Wednesday, New Year's Eve. If you're going out tonight, take an Uber or a Lyft or find a sober friend to drive you. It's not worth it. No excuses. Whatever your plans are, stay safe. I plan to stay home. A very sad update in the search for missing Texas teenager Camila Mendoza Olmos. A body was found yesterday around 4:45 p.m. in a field in a patch of tall grass at a local landscaping business. The business is said to be almost directly behind her home, and foul play is not suspected. There was a 9mm found near the body, and her brother did report a firearm missing from their home shortly after she disappeared. Sheriff Salazar said they hope a positive identification can be made on the body in the next day or two, but the body did have clothing similar to what she was last seen wearing. And the family obviously struggling to come to grips with the discovery. Her mom, Rosario, is obviously devastated. And according to a volunteer who helped lead the volunteer search, said that her mom was just repeating the words, "so close to home." And he said her eyes were just not there. She was staring at the wall. She was living with her mom and she was in school hoping to become an orthodontist. Her dad, Alfonso, told the Daily Mail she would never do something like that to herself or us. She just wouldn't, not ever. He said, "People talk, but they don't know my daughter like I do." He also said her recent breakup was mutual and respectful. It ended on good terms in a very lovely way. And that wasn't something she was depressed about. So as soon as that positive identification is made, I will let you guys know. Not the outcome we wanted. So young. Moving on to another missing woman from Texas. Sydney Marquez, 24 years old, went missing from Houston, Texas on December 11th. That would be 20 days ago. She is from El Paso. She's 5'4" and weighs 120 pounds. She has a 4-leaf clover tattoo on her wrist. She was last seen wearing gray pants, a hoodie, and tennis shoes. She graduated from Texas A&M in 2023 with a degree in neuroscience, and she was visiting friends in Houston when she went missing. Everybody was waiting for her at the hotel, and when she didn't show up, they called her dad the next day and filed a missing persons report. Her friends say everything was normal and there were no arguments. Her mom last spoke to her on the phone about a week before she went missing and said she sounded fine. A male friend that she was visiting in Houston, as well as Sydney's father, went to the police station and were questioned. The friend is cooperating and has been cleared as a suspect. She does suffer from bipolar disorder and was off her meds when she disappeared. Her dad says Sydney has wandered off before. There was surveillance footage released early on showing Sydney walking northbound on the sidewalk of Ranchester Drive in Houston. She looks to be taking a normal walk. She doesn't look like she's in a rush. She doesn't look like she's intoxicated, and she doesn't look to be in distress. Surveillance caught her again near the 9100 block of Belle Boulevard in Houston. This is in the greater Southwest Houston area. Her dad told Brian Enton on News Nation they have new surveillance footage showing her about 150 yards from her hotel at 12:27 a.m. on the 12th, and that is the last footage they have of her. Her dad says he hopes the Starbucks near the hotel can share their footage when Sydney crossed the flyway to see what direction she was going in. Her dad said every indication shows she was heading back to her hotel, but for some reason she kept walking westbound on Harwin Drive, and that's the last footage we have. As far as the hotel, her dad said her phone was there, her iPad was there, her class ring, and her clothing is all still there. And there's just no explanation why she didn't make it back to her hotel. And she did leave her car abandoned. Search teams told KHOU 11 that the nearby shopping center in the Asiatown area has produced their most valuable leads with surveillance footage. However, the search in that area has been completed for now. Her parents are making the rounds on the true crime networks, and they call her disappearance the nightmare before Christmas. Her dad, Raul, said, "If you see my daughter, if she's endangered, please don't stay quiet. If you see something, if you know something, please say something. I miss my daughter and she needs to come home. The area where she went missing has a very large immigrant population, and the family is urging anybody who may have seen something to report it either to the family or the police, regardless of their immigration status, and they would ensure they are protected. Sydney's father gave a press conference to KHOU 11 and said he mapped out her last known whereabouts, and he's walked that route that she was last seen on. He measured her steps per minute so that when they canvass for surveillance footage, he can give them a specific time frame to not burden the business owners having to go through hours of footage. He says he's narrowed it down to about a 15-minute window. Texas EquiSearch has joined the search and have added volunteers and resources. Sydney's parents were on Banfield, and they said they're clueless where she would have gone or how she went missing. They said this is not normal for her, and her mom said she had plans and a lot of things going on in El Paso. A member of EquiSearch was on with Brian Enton and said she could have been having an emotional episode. And in his experience, he's seen these episodes can last anywhere from 2 days or 2 years. He thinks maybe she's just wandering around and hopefully someone will see something and say something. But investigators are looking at every possible scenario from her wandering around to obviously something more nefarious. There's just not many leads right now other than this footage. Her parents have her phone, but in trying to gain access to that phone, it is asking for a code that's being sent to an old phone number of Sydney's that a woman in El Paso now has. And get this, the owner of Sydney's old phone number refuses to give the parents the code, and they're asking for $1,000. So her parents left Houston and went back to El Paso and knocked on the door. This woman still would not give the code. I'm just going to say karma is going to pull right up to this woman's house as it should. Her mom, Luz Marquez, was on Banfield and said that Sydney was a bright, happy person and loves her family. She had a lot of reasons to be continuing with her plans in her life and left a lot of things to do in El Paso. Sydney is the youngest of 4 daughters. Her older sister, Kayla, said Sydney was very driven. She really remained focused on her studies, and even though she picked a really tough workload, she stuck with it. Her other sister, Clarissa, said she would advocate for everyone, and she was just a really great person. So this is definitely a huge mystery right now. Not much to go on. Let's cross our fingers there's a break very soon that leads to Sydney. I think the best we can hope for at this point is maybe she is confused and just wandering around the area. Houston police are urging anyone with information to contact them at 832-394-1840. Again, that's 832-394-1840, or you can call Texas EquiSearch at 281-309-9500. Again, that's 281-309-9500. So please share this episode, especially if you are in the Texas area. You never know, that one person that might see something and it jogs their memory, that could be a huge break in the case. In the meantime, my prayers are with this girl and her family. Can't imagine not knowing where my child is. That is it for now. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we will see you soon.